Lagos, the city that never sleeps, city where dreams are made and shattered in the same breath. Among the sea hopefuls trying to find their place was Divine Oluchi, a 24-year-old lady whose beauty could turn heads on any street. But beneath the flawless skin, bright smile, confident thought was a soul drowning in silent regrets. Divine grew up in a small town in Abia State, but relocated to Lagos after losing her father at the age of 18. Her mother struggled to make ends meet as a petty trader, and being the first child with two younger siblings, the burden to support the family fell heavily on her shoulders. With dreams of giving her family a better life, Divine had to move to Lagos, hoping for a greener pastures. But the harsh reality of life in the city hit harder than she ever imagined. Lagos was no paradise, it was a battlefield. At first, she tried her hands on genuine hustle. She worked as a sales girl in a boutique on the island, earning barely enough to feed herself. The pay was poor, and the long hours under her boss's constant insult drained her. The small slavery could barely take care of her transport fare and feeding, let alone send money back home. At night, she would cry silently on her tin mattress in her one-room apartment, thinking of her siblings back home. Her younger sister, chisom, had just gained admission into the university, and the bills kept piling up. Divine endured for a while, believing better days would come. But better days didn't come quickly enough. The constant calls from home, the hunger, and the frustration began to weigh on her. Inspiration makes people vulnerable, and Divine was no exception. It all started with small suggestions from friends. A colleague at the boutique, Sandra, always had the latest phones, designer bags, and wigs. She would laugh off Divine's endless complaints about her struggles. Babe, this Lagos no hard oh. You just dey do yourself. Use what you have to get what you want. This beauty wey you carry e suppose dey pay you oh. Divine brushed it off at first. She was raised with strict Christian values, and her mother's constant words echoed in her heart. A good name is better than riches. But hunger has a way of silencing moral lectures. Sandra will come to work on Monday mornings with expensive perfumes oozing from her skin and fresh bundles of cash in her handbag. Divine couldn't help but wonder how she did it. See, babe, this world no balance. The rich are getting richer while we dey here dey suffer. If you no wise up, this Lagos will chew you up and spit you out. No man go pity you, na only your own money fit save you. Divine listened, but her heart battled with her conscience. She tried avoiding Sandra, but they worked together every day. Sandra's stories of weekend trips to Abuja, expensive perfumes, and the latest iPhones played on Divine's mind. One Friday evening, they closed work late. Sandra offered to give Divine a ride home, but instead of heading straight to her bus stop, she took a detour. Make we just branch small. E no go take 5 minutes, Sandra said with mischievous smile. They stopped at the lounge in a Victoria Island. The air was filled with the scent of expensive perfumes, cigarette smoke, and the sound of soft music playing in the background. Wedding men sat around, sipping drinks, whilst girls like Sandra walked confidently between tables. Divine sat stiffly, clutching her small handbag. Sandra ordered drinks, laughing and chatting like she belonged there. She introduced Divine to a few men, brushing off her discomfort with casual jokes. Relax, babe. Nobody go force you. Just enjoy yourself and make connections. Divine tried to smile, but her mind raced. She knew she didn't belong there. Yet something in her heart craved the ease with which Sandra moved, the confidence, the money, the life. That night, she went home with only transport fare in her pocket, but the seed has been planted. A few days later, Sandra slipped a bundle of cash into Divine's bag at work. For you, I know say you need am, no string attached. Divine refused at first, but the next morning, she used the money to buy foodstuff for her family. One compromise always opens the door for another. It was just a gift, she told herself, but the whispers in her heart grew louder. It was just one night That's what Divine told herself the first time she agreed to meet a man. The money he gave her was more than 3 months of her boutique salary. That night, she cried herself to sleep but still transferred half of the money to the mother the next morning. One night became two, two nights became weekends. Before she realized it, the life she once judged was the very life she now lived. Expensive clothes, iPhones, and hair extensions become her new normal. Her Instagram page began to grow. Friends envied her, calling her Boss Lady. But behind the glam was emptiness. She couldn't look at herself in the mirror without feeling shame. The guilt clawed at her heart every night. She tried to pray, but the world felt empty. Her heart was too heavy. Divine's mother often called to pray for her on the phone, saying, God will bless the work of your hands, my daughter. Those prayers stung in her heart because she knew the kind of work her hands were doing. Money was coming, but peace was far away. Divine started losing friends. She couldn't connect with the girls who still struggled genuinely. Whenever her mother called to pray for her, she would fight back tears, knowing she was living a lie. She dated married men who promised heaven and earth, but only used her for their pleasure. She gave her money, others gave her heartbreak and infections. The constant fear of unwanted pregnancy or running into someone who knew her mother haunted her daily. One night, she narrowly escaped death when a man she met through a friend tried to force himself on her at a hotel. That night, she knew she had reached rock bottom. Divine's breaking point came when her younger sister Chisom called her one evening, excitedly announcing that she wanted to be like her big sister when she grew up. Those words hit like thunder. Was this the example she was setting? The life she despised was now someone else's aspiration. Divine cried all night. For the first time in years, she went on her knees and poured out her heart to God. She asked for mercy, for strength to walk away, and for another chance to life. The next morning, she blocked all her contacts from that lifestyle. She picked up her small savings and enrolled in a makeup training school. It wasn't easy, but every sweat felt better than the expensive gifts she once collected. Months later, she started her own makeup business. It was slow, but it was clean. Her journey to self discovery wasn't instant, but each step away from her past felt lighter. Today, Divine runs her own thriving makeup business in Lagos. Her social media page is now filled with motivational posts and makeup tutorials. She uses her story to mentor young ladies, warning them against the mistakes she made. She may not have everything yet, but she has peace. And that, she learned, is the greatest weight of all.